Alright, so here's a quick scan of everything we need to get this project going. So I'll go over a few things. 1/4 inch fuel line here. Needle nose. You'll need some sort of drill because you got to make a hole. Here goes your shutoff valves right here. Give you a little close up of it. I got a small drill to make a pilot. And then you'll need a 1/2 inch drill. 1/2 inch drill are for these vent caps, just in case your fuel tank doesn't have one. You need to put one in. Of course, you got your fuel hose right here. I got a T fitting and just a N fitting that I'm going to use as a fuel pickup. And this is just to cut the fuel line. Cut it nice and straight. Alright, so here I'm using a 2-gallon gas tank. It's an older one that I had, so you're going to basically take your cap off right here. We'll put that off to the side right now. You're going to take it apart, take this nozzle out. This is what you want right here. Okay. Whichever other fuel filter you end up using, what you want to do is make sure that it fits inside that opening and it doesn't exceed the diameter here where the cap goes. If not, it's not going to work. Okay. So now this is going to be a tight fit putting it in. Always make sure your direction of flow, which this one is going that way. Okay, so we're going to stick it in. So bear with me on this one. There we go. Now I'm going to wait till the end of actually putting the hose here. I want to see how much I have left over from here to actually use as a pickup. So for now, we're just going to set this in place. You're going to tighten it down. And that part of it is pretty much done. So all that we got left to do here in the fuel tank is put the vent. Okay, so I went ahead and decided I'm going to put the fitting here. It's a big flat area here. There's a bulge here that I don't want to mess with, and I want it to be a good tight seal. So let's just go ahead and mount this here. This is a press fit, so and it's a 1/2 inch hole. So I'm just going to go ahead and get set up for the pilot drill. Looks about right. Alright, let me pause it right here and I get something to clean up this hole. Alright, so I went and got my X-Acto and try to fix this hole without making it any bigger. I'll get that out later. Alright, so that should work. So all we got to do now is just press fit one of these in. And that's it. It is now vented. So now let's proceed on to the motor. Okay, the first thing you want to do is remove the cover, of course. Let's go ahead and do that. So here is your fuel pump on the Suzuki 2.5. This hose here actually goes to the carburetor. This is your pulse pressure here from the motor, which actually runs the pump. This line here actually goes all the way to the tank right here. So the only thing you have to do here is remove this hose. Let's go ahead and undo this one just to get it loose from there. Okay, now we got it off. So you want to get a small section of hose to run your T. So let's do that. I'm going to get a clamp and get it started. Alright, so that's on. Now we're going to go ahead and get the T going. So the way I'm going to run my T is I'm going to put it in like this, and this one's going to come in from the bottom. So actually, let me see. Actually, no, I'm going to go like this. Yeah. Then this is the line that's going to feed out to the fuel tank. This is where I got this extra hose here, and I'm actually going to run it out through this hole. There's two holes on this cover on the bottom. You may have to open one of them up a little bit to get the hose to fit. So let's just go ahead and get that started. Let's get a clamp started on this one too. another clamp for this one. Alright, so this is the way I'm going to go with it. Get this one in. I'll get that clamped down now. And now we'll run this one. And that is all that you actually need as far as arranging your fuel lines to get this mount to work. Now you can just pull this hose down to wherever you want it. Not too far down that you'll crimp the other hose. Now we're going to put a shutoff valve down here. Okay, and so the way this is going to work is, if you want to use your regular fuel tank, of course you just go ahead and open it up. This one will be shut off. Okay, so then your normal fuel is just going to run up through and into the carburetor. If you want to run the external fuel tank, of course you're going to open up this line and then shut this one off. And now fuel is going to come up through this lower hose and then just come up into your fuel pump. So let's go ahead and install the shutoff valve. Alright, I'm going to keep my shutoff valve fairly close to the motor itself. So I'm probably going to run it right around here. So let's go ahead and cut it. Now we'll go ahead and mount your spring clamp. Go ahead and mount it here. And now that part's done. It's pretty simple. So now we're just going to go ahead and close her up, because this part is done. Okay, so with my remaining piece of fuel line, I'm just going to go ahead and stick this onto the end of it. This is going to be my pickup here. And I'll go ahead and take my cap off. And we're going to run this here. So go ahead and put your clamp on it. Get it on there. This filter is made for 1/4 3/8, and so that's why I'm stopping it there. And that's it. It's on. So now we're going to start messing with this. Here goes your primer bulb. Okay, now here I also plan to run a shutoff valve, but it'll probably be closer to the other end, and I'll explain why here in a minute. Oh, that looks like it's going to be too small. Alright. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. Okay, so we got that one on. Here's the direction of flow going this way, and this is the one that's going to go onto here. But I'm going to run another shutoff valve, and I'll explain why. The reason I'm running another shutoff valve is because you don't want the fuel that's coming out here, if you disconnect it, to continue dribbling or siphoning out. So you definitely want to run another shutoff valve, or at least that's the way I'm doing it. So I just need a little splice joint right here. Let's see. Yeah. I'll cut this about right there. Currently ran out of clamps, but you guys get the gist of how this goes. I'll probably use tie wraps. And then you just, that's it, she's ready to go. Once you are done with this part, if you don't want to run the external tank, just disconnect it. Or run yourself a coupler. I don't know how much I'll be using actually an external tank, but when I do, it'll just be easy enough to connect. I'll probably just put a little soft rubber cap on here, and I have the option of using it whenever I want. Alright, so I did end up going with a fuel coupler. Here's the female end that I installed on the motor side. And then here's the one that comes from the fuel line. And it's very, very easy to connect and disconnect. There, it's connected. Then you just go ahead and press on this button and it disconnects. Now I plan to go ahead and just run it up over this handle as so, and then connect it, and then that's the way it's going to be run off the motor. So let's go ahead and move on to the fuel test. So I have two tanks that I use with my outboard. The 2-gallon is the long range tank, and the 1-gallon is just for putt-putting around half a day. So this gives me about 4 hours, and this one should give me 8 hours. So I'm going to go ahead, and since this is easier to deal with the 1-gallon instead of carrying the weight of the 2 because they're full, I'm going to go ahead and just swap the head over to the small tank. And this is the nice option about this setup. You can just move it from one to the other while still remaining keeping the functionality of the gas can that it was intended for originally. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this one. And then take this one off and put it on that one. Now I do want to note here, I did end up adding a O-ring right in here, all right, to help seal against this lip. So that's definitely a nice option to make sure that you do not get any leakage around the lip of that flange, just in case fuel starts sloshing around. And that's it. Now this tank's ready to go. Alright, so now let's actually start setting up to do the motor run on the external tank. Alright, so I'm all ready to begin the test. I'm going to go ahead and show the tank has no fuel. Hopefully you're able to see it. I'm just going to remove the whole cap. Okay. I have the bucket full of water, and here it is. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is get the primer to start. I'll open the valve, and we're going to squeeze. You should see this fill up with fuel here. See that? Anyway, we're going to squeeze some out. There we go. We have fuel. Shut it off for the moment. Now we're going to go ahead and connect it. And we're going to open both here. I'm going to go ahead and squeeze some more just to get the line primed. Alright, that should be good. So you can see the fuel valve is off. So let's see what we get. Pulling the choke. There it is. It's running. No fuel in the tank. Okay, so to clear the line after use, what I propose is to go ahead and shut off both valves. Then disconnect the line. And then go ahead and start the motor up. Then open this line so it'll suck all the fuel out. till it shuts off. Of course, the engine's got to use up what's in the fuel bowl. But once it's done, you've cleared the carburetor of fuel. Wow. It actually ran for almost 10 minutes with just the fuel that was in the lines and the float bowl. Amazing. Shut off the valve, and now you can store the motor away. So for those that were always considering trying to see if there was an easier way to refuel your motor out on the water without doing the mod to the engine itself, but just wanted to carry a container, this may also be a solution. So what I have here is a 1 quart container. This is the fill line to a quart, which is the same size basically as your motor. So I always wondered how many pulses of the primer bulb would it take to fill this tank. So let's find out. I'm going to go ahead and open this, and now we're going to just squeeze fuel in there and count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. So 90 pulses from the primer bulb will fill your outboard motor. Hopefully that'll help somebody out who is looking for some sort of solution to their filling problem out on the water on their Suzuki 2.5. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time out of your day with me and watching my video. I really hope that it has provided some information that may help others. At the very least, that it has given some entertainment value. So with that said, I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.